In this video, I'll try to beat Monster Hunter Rise without armor, meaning that I'll be manhandled by basically every monster. Wait, manhandled? Monster handled? I mean, this. After creating the outfit I'll be forced to look at for the next 30 hours, we can begin the game. What? I need some fan service for audience retention. Okay, gotcha. Now we can actually begin. First we have to talk to some people, then we can remove the armor, and we have the first problem. The game introduces the Petal Ace. We have it equipped by default, and we can't remove it. You may or may not consider it a piece of armor. I did not want to wear it, but I don't have a choice. So, to balance things out, I won't use talismans and decorations. You know what? To sweeten the deal, I won't use ranged weapons either. Good? I know it's good. Let's go. We hop into the tutorial, where we are introduced to dashing in the air with wirebugs, riding dogs, endemic life, and spirit birds that will help us. Now, if you only played the previous Monster Hunter games, we are basically up to date. We defeat a couple of Izuchi, and we are out of there. In the second and third quest we have to gather some mushrooms and some flowers, so in a matter of minutes we unlock the second star level quests, meaning we do some actual monster hunting. We have to take down a great Izuchi, but at this point having the base armor or not having one doesn't really make a difference, we still take little damage. And I mean, I have hundreds of hours put in this series. If I have problems against the first real enemy in a challenge run, this is going to be real bad, so we easily win the fight. A gathering quest later, and we go up against a Lagombi. These first hunts are really easy, so I'll walk you through what weapon I chose and why. I decided not to use ranged weapons, because I think that they are the best at dealing damage while being safe. In fact, I think that they are so good that they would make the whole challenge less interesting, along with the Petal Ace. Also, not having an armor means we can't actually have a build, and these weapons usually rely on that pretty heavily. The Great Budgie isn't quite strong enough to do it, but most monsters, especially in high rank, will one-shot kill me. And while more or less all the weapons have a wirebug move that gives you some invincibility, not all of them are created equal, and I'd like one that allows me to at the same time parry the attack and move me far away from danger. Now we fight the Acnosome, and now we have to be a bit more careful because it can headbutt us to death, no problem. This is why I don't want to use slow weapons, or ones with attacks or combos that force you to be committed for a long time. We already have some attacks that can kill us in one hit now, and later it will be basically every attack, so having to stand still is a huge liability. I mean, it always is, but you usually simply lose some time and a mega potion. The Firebird goes down without much of a fight, and Kulu-Ya-Ku is next. The last thing about the weapons is that I don't think I'll be able to guard attacks. Maybe I won't be one-shot killed by them, but if I lose 3/4 of HP and I have to heal every time I block an attack, I don't think it's going to be useful. I know I'm going fast with these quests, but they all lasted like 5 minutes. Great Roggy now. This is overall why I chose the dual blades, that on top of all that I said also allow me great mobility with the demon mod, having dash dodges instead of rolls is great, and they look cool. Obviously, this is my choice. If you try to do this you can use whatever weapon you like, that's why this game is so good. Just remember, without the dual blades, you won't have the power of God and anime on your side. We have our first rampage, it's a tower defense mode. It's pretty funny played with friends, but the only way to fail the quest is if the monsters manage to destroy the last gate, meaning we can fight as much times as we want. We'll only lose a bit of the score at the end if we do it, so it's basically a free win. Next in line is the Tetranodon, but for now these fights are so easy that I'm watching some podcast on my other monitor while I play, and maybe it shows since I almost died here. We have our first Turf War, and in this game they introduced Wyvern Riding that will allow us to deal tons of damage with pretty much no risk, so you can bet I'll use it a lot this run. The turtle falls and we have to fight a Barroth. I am pretty sure that if it hits me with a headbutt I will die in one hit, but I don't wanna find out if it's true, so I play a bit more carefully than usual. After the fight I unlock a different switch skill, this is called Demon Flight, and now by pressing A, instead of spinning around I'll do a strong attack, and if it connects, I'll jump up in the air. Maybe it's a bit risky, but I like it a lot, and I'll use it for the whole run. First 4-star quest, and it's against the monkey. We start to feel the lack of armor, and this enemy is pretty fast and aggressive. It often does spinning attacks and charges where we basically can't hit it, so we should play carefully. Well, I don't play carefully, but still, if I get punished by a stun into a strong attack, I only lose like 1/3 of HP with a well-timed wirefall. The occasional monster that crashes into the fight helps, and we can close the monkey business. Volvidon is our next target, and it can be dangerous because it can prevent us from healing and can both stun and paralyze us, so we have to at least be careful and heal a bit more aggressively than usual. That said, the hunt is pretty easy, all its moves are pretty slow but the rolling attacks, and a little wyvern riding never hurt anyone. We take our win and proceed. It's time for the queen herself, the Rathian, and I'm a little afraid that a tail swipe will kill us in one hit, so I take a little more spirit bugs than usual. At first, I try to fight her in the air, and after a bit we manage to ride a monster, and while she's on the ground I cut her tail, so I get a bit too cocky. And no more than 30 seconds later I get hit by a charge while in the air, and we have the first feint of this run. A little earlier than I would have liked, but in my defense I was listening to a Magic the Gathering podcast, so I wasn't playing at full potential. I got back, and after some stabbing I captured her. We have to hunt the Basarios next, but honestly it's pretty boring. It's really slow and you have to stab it, dealing pretty much no damage until it decides to explode. Then it starts to glow red for some time and you deal a bit more damage. After a while it shatters and we win. Sleepy Siren is next, and the game is beginning to get harder. It's not like this hunt is difficult, but now most attacks will deal around half of our HP, so we have to play a bit more carefully and heal basically every time we get hit. That said, I still play hyper aggressively like a fool, but this time it works and we put the Somnacant to sleep. Now, before tackling the last 4-star hunt, we unlock the special lesson test number 1. In this game we have two hubs. The village one that is only single player, has slightly easier monsters and is only low rank, and the guild one that allows for the hunts to be multiplayer, even though I'll obviously will be playing by myself for all the run, and has a high rank and the actual ending of the story. I'll have to tackle both, but if you are far enough into the village hub, you unlock these special tests that if completed will let you skip the easier low rank hunts in the other quest hub. In short, I won't have to kill all these easy monsters again. Well, not until I unlock high rank. I got so lost in the sauce trying to explain it that I didn't even notice we won. Hunter rank 2, baby! We get ready to hunt the Barioth, and this fight can be hard since it has very fast attacks and it's pretty aggressive. But if I stop being dumb trying to heal in the Escurgot, it should be fine. In this fight you can see why I chose to use the Demon Flight. When you're in the air in Demon mode, you can spin on their back, Levi style, and it deals a ton of damage against these long monsters that are 80% tail. After a bit of back and forth, one last spin takes it down. It's time for Magnamalo, the big bad guy itself. It's this game's Nergigante basically, only that the game forgets about it halfway through. I know this fight is going to be hard, so I get some Spirit Bursts and deal enough damage in the air to an Axon Song in order to get a mount. I reach the target, and after getting the free damage while riding, I focus on its tail. I do some risky parries, but all is good, and I quickly cut it. The monster keeps on falling, and I keep on dealing damage. I even get a mount and decide to throw it against the wall a couple of times. I risk fainting, but after a while it runs away. So far, so good. I go after it, I did some good damage with a Blast Toad, but I accidentally put away my weapons, so when I try to parry an attack with my dash, I instead do a regular wireback dash, and I faint. 2 more chances left. I get back with a great Izuchi, but when Magnamalo is in rage it's very dangerous, and I get one-shot killed by an attack that I didn't even see coming. Last card available, and I don't want to fail the first quest of the run, not now and not against an explosive kitten. Thankfully, I have played more than 500 hours of CSGO, so I'm used to being in a tense situation, with the odds against me, and I can almost hear 4 Russian kids shouting clutch or kick in my ears. This is my environment, and Magnamalo is allowed to sit at the Monster Hunter Villains Council, but it doesn't have the rank of Elder Dragon. So after dodging a dive bomb, I managed to put it to sleep in a trap, and you can compliment my clutch by liking the video and subscribing, it helps out a lot. And the credits roll. But don't worry, this is just the beginning. No, really, it's not even halfway into the story, I don't know why they put this cinematic here. 5-star quests are next, and we hunt a Nargacuga, because we'll build what I think are the best raw damage dual swords for most of the game. And since builds on this game are based on armor and decorations, and we can't have either of them, I guess I'll have to stick to non-elemental weapons. Nargacuga though isn't the easiest monster to hunt. It has fast attacks, fast movement, and from now on I have to assume that every strong attack will one-shot kill me. And I find out I'm right very shortly after, but I got back up and pawned it. I hunt it again, faint again, and I still don't have enough materials to craft the blades. So I get back in for round 3, and as they say, third time's the charm, and we can finally equip some decent weapons. Well, half decent at least. We go up against the Anjanath, but his days of putting in the dirt new players back in Monster Hunter World are long gone. Also, I didn't mention it yet, but I will be playing with a Palico and a Palamute, only that they aren't allowed to put an armor on either. This means that they are here mostly to hang out and to allow me to run around the map faster, since they'll be healing most of the time. Anjanath captured, we jump into the next hunt, Mizutsune. Now that we defeated Magnamalo, we unlocked a really good food skill. It allows us to survive one hit that would make us faint, only once per hunt, and will remain at 1 HP. It only activates if we have over a certain amount of HP when we get hit, but we'll get one shot killed most of the time no matter how much HP we have, so no worries. Okay, I'll show you how it works. Just for you, not at all because I was distracted so I was playing really bad. We unlocked the Special License Test number 2, and this time it features a Great Izuchi, a Bishaten and a Magnamalo. At the beginning of the quest, Magnamalo isn't there yet, so I start slaughtering them in the meantime. Rally 1 to fight the other is really useful, they are pretty easy monsters, so in 10 minutes I managed to take them both down. Time for the cat. Last time Magnamalo almost defeated me, so now I want to regain my honor. And I don't, because I still faint once, but hey, quest done and we unlock Hunter rank 3. It's time for the last 5-star quest, and it's the king himself, Rathalos, so I best not miss. His attacks are pretty easy to tell, maybe he didn't age so well, but he's here since the first Monster Hunter game in the PS2, so we have to respect our elders. The hunt is easy, but the food has to save me at the end after I miss the timing on a parry. The first 6-star quest involves an Almudron, and since I usually find this hunt boring, I pay a bit more attention to the anime podcast I'm listening to than I should, so I faint. Twice. I lure an Argakuga to get one last mount, and thanks to that I managed to walk up slowly and place a trap, capturing it. There are no more mandatory 6-star quests, so I only have to do the last special license test, now with Almudron, Zinogre and Rathalos. Here they spawn one at a time, so I get down to business with Rathalos, I play aggressively, as usual, until I misread one attack and get 1-2 combo to death, losing both a cart and the food skill. 10 minutes in, Rathalos is capturable, I am feeling good, and then I'm not sure why I faint. I know that hitboxes aren't that good when you are spinning on a monster, but man it feels tough now. Well, I guess I have to put up or shut up. And boy do I like talking. I catch the Rathalos sleeping and it's over for him. Shortly after I engage the Zinogre. This monster is pretty aggressive and can easily kill me. But I know this fight well, so I managed to deal a lot of damage, and after a class retreat and some help from the Almudron, I capture it. It's time for my revenge against the Muddy Mop. This time I'm more confident, but I really don't want to do this again, so I fight a bit more carefully, meaning that I fight as aggressively as usual for 90% of the time, then get scared and run away. But hey, it works, and with this we unlock the high rank. The first quest we have is a Rampage one, against the Apex Arzuros, that funnily enough is the first Arzuros that I have to hunt. As previously stated, we can faint as much times as we want in the Rampage quests, so I'd like to tell you how I had to overcome my hardships to win this quest, but I'd be lying because it was a slaughter. I almost feel bad for the poor bear. We have a cinematic at the end, but nobody cares about the story in a Monster Hunter game, right? I mean, the developers didn't. The first proper high rank quest is against the Great Izuchi, and I'll go fast through this because I think these early monsters are easier than the hard low rank ones. We still have to reach the interesting ones, so bear with me. The Izuchi has like 4 total moves, and it passes half the fight on the ground. I mean, it's still high rank and I'm basically in my underwear, but it's not a big deal. Great Izuchi, 12 minutes and 46 seconds. It's drifting bunny time, and this fight is basically stab its lower back until it falls to the ground. I mean the bunny falls, not the back. Lagombi, 15.01. The fire chicken is next, and I'm not talking about the Korean dish. Did you know that if you hit a monster with a thunder beetle, you can stun them even with a cutting weapon? Aknosom, 17.48. This monster is shaped like a friend, but I won't hold back. We have a 4-way fight in the middle of it, and I come out victorious. Tetranodon, 14.33. Here the audience usually has a split reaction. Half of you will say, "That's my boy right there, Goketsu." The other half will be saying, "Get it off my face, that's gross!" And I honestly understand both sides. To defeat it, we stab it in the head? face. Mouth. Kazu 15.24. 5-star quests are back, and it's time for everybody's favorite monster, returning from Monster Hunter World, the Juratodus. Yeah, I don't know why it's here either. I'm sorry, Jurassic Fish fans. We unlocked a new switch skill for the dual blades, called the Feral Demon Mode. If you read the description, it looks useless, because you lose some movement speed in Demon Mode to deal a tiny bit of damage while dashing. What the game doesn't tell you is that the Feral Demon Mode comes with a substantial attack boost, making it really worth it. Why it's not written anywhere? I don't know, but we'll use it for all the run. We almost lose the quest, but we managed to survive until the end. Juratodus 23.33. Ouch. The sponge is next, and its weak spot is literally half of its body, so we don't have a hard time in the fight. We take a good amount of damage if you get hit, but it doesn't have any very dangerous moves. Royal Ludroth, a clean 15. It's Barroth time, and you may think that it would be easy since it's pretty slow. And I mean, that's true, but it hits like a truck. I start off the fight confidently, I get a mount and then I deal a good amount of damage. And I think I pass the halfway point when my weapon bounces on its head and while I'm stunned, I faint. I get back in, and after 30 seconds I do the wrong move at the wrong time and I have one last card. I'm dealing a good amount of damage, I know I am almost done, and then I do a jumping attack. The monster turns around, and I know what's going to happen, but I can't do anything about it. I get slammed to the ground, and we have the first failed quest of the run. I knew it would have happened, but my pride still hurts a bit. Now kids, it's time for an important lesson. If you can't do something, just give up. That's why I went against the Rathian. The queen can and will kill me if I give her the chance, so I try to deal damage mostly by staying in between her claws, where I don't deal a great amount of damage but it's less risky. And by doing jump attacks and swinging at her wings, you usually are far enough from her body that attacks will miss you. That said, I still fainted twice, because at this point in the game I can't fool around anymore. That said, we win in 13 minutes and 38, not bad. We have a Pukei on our hands, and it's a monster I like a lot and a pretty easy hunt. It's pretty soft, and at best it can stomp us a couple of times. I get sad when I see it trying to spew poison after losing the tail, so I put an end to its misery. 13:36, a decent time. The monkey is next, and it's making us sweat more than I would like. At this point, without armor, even the small monsters deal a ton of damage, and they faint because of the regular Jagras. Oh well. I have a fun quest complete the screen, and we bring home a 13:20. I already expressed my disdain for the Basarios, and I guess it's mutual because after 20 minutes I get trampled and lose the quest. I get back in, and hey, who'd have guessed that the person who does videos on challenges doesn't give up when they fail to do something once. This time we have my good friend, Rajang, to help us out, and we managed to win in 17 minutes, but they felt like 2 hours. Up next is the first 6-star quest, and I won't lie, I got beat up badly here. Like round 1, round 2, round 3, and ding ding ding, they were dragging me out of the ring. I need a plan. So first of all, I bought a lot of raw meat and gave it to the cook. This way I'll have enough tickets to always have my food skills active, and that's basically one more faint chance guaranteed. Then I started riding monsters way more often. You can get the first mount on non-target monsters really easily, and you deal a good amount of risk-free damage. After a cooldown that I think is 10 or 15 minutes, you can lure them and make them fight again, getting another mount. Then what you have to do is play carefully. You can be a bit more aggressive at the beginning of the fight, but you have to respect and rage monsters. They attack faster and will usually one-hit kill you with most attacks. If what you have to do is dodge attacks for 3 minutes straight without dealing damage until the monster comes down, then do it. This is how, after 2 feints and 30 minutes, I won. And it's uphill from there. I start 6-star quests with the Nargacuga that will allow me to upgrade my weapons, but I have to defeat it first, and boy does this cut hit hard. I use a Tobi Kadachi and I take advantage of a fight with Anjana. If I'm not mounting, I can't deal a ton of damage, because if I get hit by the tail I die, every time. So you have to be really careful. Thankfully, after 20 and 25 minutes, the 2 monsters that are there at the start of the quest go away, so you can mount the new ones, but this takes a long time and you don't have enough damage to win just by mounting. I get a riding kill and I'm out of there. Somnakanth is next, and it's an easy hunt. With the upgraded Nargacuga weapons, my damage increases considerably, and I put on them a rampage skill that allows me to deal more damage while riding monsters. They are basically tailored for us. We stab it a good amount of times, And yes, we fainted twice, but the only card that matters is the last one. It's time to hunt a Tobi-Kadachi, and I took this hunt more seriously than the previous one, but not by a lot. I dealt a ton of damage with Aratian, and the rest of the fight was pretty easy. Its attacks are fast but with clear tails and don't deal a lot of damage. So I bring home a victory in 22 minutes and 22. The next quest is an urgent rampage where we have to fight Ibushi, and as always we deal with it no problem. I basically can't fail them. We have to hunt an Anjanath, and I'm really happy the fight is in the lava caverns, because here I can take the Aurartle, an animal that will give us the same effect as the Magnamalo food, meaning we can be knocked down one more time, sort of. That said, our friendly neighborhood T-Rex isn't that hard, because when you break both its legs it will keep on falling to the ground, so I managed to win, without fainting, in 17 minutes and 22. The first fight against Rathalos doesn't go that well, so I decided I actually didn't want to fight him and instead I face off against Abarios. I was afraid of the frozen wind attacks and the relentless jumps. Turns out that I can survive most attacks in this fight, and the hunt ends in 17 minutes and 34. No feints. It's 7-star quest time, and it's the Raknakadaki, so spider warning ahead. What I find odd about this monster is that you have to fight it so far ahead in the game for the first time, and yet its armor and charge blade design were in the demos that came out before the game released. I don't know, I just think it's strange. The fight is really easy, slow attacks and easy to tell. I guess the hard part is that you have to hit it where it's covered in webs until you break them, but we have a very good movement speed, so it's not a problem, and the pest control quest is over in 1834. We have only a bunch of quests left, but now they are all really tough and really angry, so we have to take our time. I go against the Diablos, but it doesn't work out that well, so I pivot to the Gosarag. This hunt is challenging, but it's really fun. The hardest places to hit, the hands and the face, are also the one where you deal the most damage. But if you get hit by the ice blades, you die 100% of the time. It means that if you play overly aggressively like me, you are actually rewarded, and the home team comes back victorious in 19 minutes and 50. I try defeating the Almudron, but it's like being jumped by 10 people, so in the meantime I do a 4-star quest and improves the Dango Defender, a food skill that can reduce the damage I take. This quest is fun, because there is a really small Kulu and a really big one. I fight the Magnamalo again, but this time I decided to run away every time I see that it rages. And I have to say, it works. I almost get taken down by 2 regular Rocky just after I made the monster 10 times bigger than them run away. I don't get this game sometimes. I misread one attack and they blew up, so I end up with 1 card left and I really don't want to lose. So I waited for the second wave of monsters, and thanks to a Zinogre and a Rathalos, I win. Take a seat, young Magnamalo. Hey, small golden crown, let's go! You hear the monkey jazz, it's time for the Rajang. This is, by far, my favorite monster in the game, and my second favorite in the whole series. Try to guess who is the first one if you want. A little hint, it's big, yellow, and shaped like a friend. Well, that's 3 hints I guess. This fight is dreaded by most people, because the Rajang hits fast and it's hard, but I fought it so many times that I fare pretty well, even without armor. Don't get me wrong, the Rajang is still really dangerous, but after 20 minutes we win. But I captured it, because I couldn't kill a friend. Round 2 against the Diablos is next, and this fight is really tough. If I even think about doing a jumping attack, I get knocked down. If I stay too much in between the legs, I get trampled and I get knocked down. And if I get hit by the horns, you guessed it, I get knocked down. I used all the mounts I could get, I fainted all the times I was allowed to, and I even used both my traps because I got scared. But at the end, I got the W. I always liked the Monoblos more, anyway. Only 1 quest remains, and it's between the Tigrex and the Almudron. And for the next hours I got beaten up so bad that I think I saw the Live Leak logo pop up in my screen. It's not that I was fighting that bad, but the hunts are hard, and I was still listening to podcasts. Yeah, I know, my bad. Also, in between these hunts I went on vacation, so I was a bit rusty when I came back. I finally managed to take down the Tigrex, and as in the last couple of runs, I did it by using a lot of mounts and getting a lot lucky. When we come back, we are informed that they saw the final boss of the game, and it's the next one on our hit list. Also, I just got the upgraded Petalaces because I forgot I had to talk to Fugen after entering high rank, so yeah, it could have been easier. This fight is different from all the others, since it's in an enclosed area. There are no other monsters, and Narwa will sometimes summon siege weapons that are really useful because most attacks will kill us in one hit. So the only way we have to deal damage with conventional weapons is by getting in between 2 attacks. Narwa is almost always in the air, so we deal not a lot of damage with our blades. It took some trials, mostly because I'm not accustomed to this fight since I did it like 3 times tops before this, but in the end I managed to win. We have a cinematic now, and this was the end of the game at release, even though it's clearly not the end of the story. They added the actual end a couple of months later, and they decided that the true end is the closest thing to beating the game, so we have to proceed. It's time to hunt some Elder Dragons, but first we have to increase our hunter rank. We are free to do whatever quest we want, and I decided to only do Rampage quests because they are pretty much free. So I hunt an Apex Mizutsune. Mizutsune falls. I even dropped 2 gems that I can't use. I then hunt Ibushi again, and then an Apex Rathian. These Apex monsters drop special crafting materials, we'll use them later. We reach Hunter rank 20, and now we can hunt Camellios. This monster is pretty fun, and not having armor actually improved it. Usually when this guy turns invisible you pretty much ignore it, keep dealing damage, and if you get hit, who cares. But now, as soon as it becomes invisible, I start to run for my life, and I have to say, it's really fun. I wouldn't say to everybody to try this challenge out, but if you want to give it a shot with a monster, this is the one. In this game there are other monsters in the quests with the Elder Dragons, so we can use them to help us fight, and in 27 minutes, with only 1 feint, we win. We have to do some more rampages to unlock the next quest, so first we do the Ibushi hunt again, and then we fight the Apex Zinogre. And I was beaten to a pulp, like I fainted a comical amount of times. Still got the S+, baby! Now we can hunt the Kulasha Daora, but in this game it's actually fun. Also, for some reason this quest is the only one that features Poison Kunai. I mean, you can't even craft them. To win I obviously used mounts, because they are insanely good, and I wanted to be moving at all times to dodge the ranged attacks. So I spent most of the time on my Palamute, jumping on the monster after an attack to deal easy and free damage. This strategy actually works, and I managed to take down the Elder Dragon in 26 minutes without even losing my food skill. Rampage grind again, this time we have an Apex Diablos and I almost failed the quest. And right after it was an Apex Rathalos. Please, Mr. Rathalos, a picture for the fans! I didn't unlock the last Elder Dragon yet, so I went on a hunt for Arachna Kadaki, because I dropped the rarest Nargacuga material in the rampages, so I only need some materials from the spider to upgrade my weapon. I wasted half an hour and I didn't get enough of them, so I thought, who cares, and went to fight Teostra. This is the strongest of the 3 Elder Dragons, and luckily we fight him in the lava caverns. We can use some really good monsters against him, and we can use multiple Aurortals since there is only one in the map, but it respawns. And Age Teostra is really scary, but you would probably die in one hit anyway against him, so having no armor doesn't really matter. Well, sometimes you die when he decides to run around, but at this point in the run you should be accustomed to it. Or at least you should be able to not tilt because of it. And after 2 feints, 3 more saves by food and Aurortals, and more than 30 minutes, the last conventional quest is done. We rampage against Apex Zinogre, Apex Mizutsune and a random quest because I needed 1 more level, and we are ready for the final quest. I don't like this fight, and this means that I did it only once before, and that means that I lost a couple of hours to win. I got some sick dodges in the failed runs though. The fight is divided in 2 parts. At first we have to defeat Ibushi in a normal fight, and it's not that hard to do, just remember to aim for the cannonballs while use the ballista. I was able to do it in around 6 minutes. Then he and Narwa will fuse together, sort of, and create Narwa, the All-Mother. You can actually shoot them while they are mating, but if you are doing it in multiplayer, be careful, because you could deal too much damage and softlock the quest. I don't believe they fixed it yet. To win this fight I stayed on the Palamute most of the time. We have very short openings to deal damage, and the dogs allow us both to dodge better and reach Narwa faster in order to deal more damage. The fight has some little sub-phases. Narwa's attack will change as she loses HP, but there are too many of them to be explained. So I'll just say that in order to dodge the big one, with the explosion and the Dragonator spinning around, I had to be on feet and use the wireback dash with my weapons out. Do I have to actually say that if I get hit by most attacks I die in one hit? Or by this point we are assuming it? As you can see, my weapons are different. This is because I built the Rampage Blade with max Dragon and Ice damage and the Sharpness buff, because Narwa is weak to both elements and is really long. If I get a flip on her I deal damage in the hundreds. It's huge, and Captain Levi would be proud. The thing that really helps us out here is the 2 Aurortals in the arena. You can take them both and they will stack, and if you find yourself in a sticky situation, like I did, you can go back to the camp, wait for them to respawn, and go back in. This challenge was quite hard, and I have to thank Limited Resources and Trash Taste, the 2 podcasts that kept me company during this 40 hours log. Would I suggest you trying this? You can try it, and it's fun overall, don't get me wrong, but it's a bit tedious since you can't have a build, so it's not the best. And on my last possible card, without Orthos, I ran against Narwa, and I will say that you can beat Monster Hunter Rise without armor, but it's not for the faint of heart. The developers will probably add content to the end of the game, so if you want me to try and do also that, including all the Apex monsters in a regular fight, write it down below. And if you made it to the end of this video, you can leave a like or even subscribe. I'll see you next time. Well, you'll see me. See the video at least. Why do I always mess up the outro?